Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in a positive way to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. Have you ever tried to hide your feelings? It's tougher than one would think. More times than not, individuals don't understand how much feelings impact communication. According to Communication in the Real World and Introduction Studies on Chapter 6, emotions are psychological, behavioral, and/or communicative reactions to stimuli that are cognitively processed and experienced as emotional. The psychological reactions may not be noticeable by others but are therefore interpersonal unless we exhibit some changes in behavior that clues others into our internal state, or we verbally or non-verbally communicate our internal state. Sometimes our behavior is voluntary. This means we would ignore someone completely. On the other spectrum, these behaviors could come off as involuntary, where we fidget and avoid eye contact while talking because we're nervous. Emotional awareness, or the ability to successfully communicate with others while understanding feelings, will immensely influence the communication with other people. The ability to express emotions impacts how it affects the message one is trying to send. Considering other people's feelings and operating on trust and good communication are also crucial parts of expressing your emotions. When one feels a strong emotion or feeling, hold on to that emotion and try to not let it get in the way of the message you are trying to send to someone. Emotional intelligence includes being able to solve problems in life by understanding emotions, such as being able to regulate your own emotions and cheer others up when they are feeling low. High levels of emotional awareness means you can learn from your feelings at a quicker rate. An example that adequately portrays this and why it's happening is if you feel sad, you can reflect on why is it happening, and then make decisions that help you express yourself. It also means you have the ability to predict emotions in advance. You will know what actions lead to specific emotions, and this means you can make better choices according to the situation. Knowing how emotions affect the message one is trying to send is a crucial part of expressions. Just as other people's feelings can affect the message you're trying to send, your own feelings can also get in the way of the communications as well. When you feel a strong emotion or feeling, pay attention to that emotion and try to not let it get in the way of the message you're trying to send to the person you're speaking to. Both positive emotions, such as happiness, or negative emotions, like anger, can get in the way of communication. Understanding your own feelings and how to express them to others is a key factor in emotional intelligence. From the time we are born, we have the ability to sense our emotions. Infants and young children react to their emotions with facial expressions or with actions like laughing, crying, smiling, or cuddling. They don't show emotions, or they feel and show emotions, however, they don't yet have the ability to name the emotion or put into words how they feel. As we grow up and observe to others around us, we have become more skilled in understanding emotions. Instead of just instantly reacting like little kids do, we identify what we feel and think about how to put it into words. With time and practice, we as people get better at knowing why we are feeling a certain way. People in society need to learn to use their feelings and express themselves to others. Emotions are a natural human instinct. We were all born with them, so don't struggle against them over and over. Let them be, and in the meantime, just relax and let them express you. Find something else to occupy your mind in the meantime, such as working out, talking to friends or family, or reading a book. If you happen to experience overly powerful emotions like rage or sadness, try to go on an intense run. Have you ever finished a conversation with someone and wondered, why did they just speak to me like that? Or why did they use that tone? Considering other people's feelings when you speak is also very important. When speaking to others, you have to remember to treat others how you would like to be treated in return. Conversations with your friends can sometimes get emotional. Even if your intentions are good, you might be in danger of hurting someone else's feelings. The best way to be sensitive to other people's feelings is to listen carefully to what they have to say and speak kindly in return. It's important to learn ways to take care of your own feelings as well. You have to oftentimes sit back and put yourself in other people's shoes and think how they must feel in the situation. Empathy is the ability to perceive and interpret what another person is feeling or thinking. That is to say, it's a way of understanding and comprehending what another person is feeling. It means to put yourself in someone else's shoes, like I said a little bit before. Listen to what others have to say and be open and understanding to their feelings and the way they feel. We think listening is just what we do when we're not talking, but it's not true. Listening can be really hard work. According to the article, Hearing by the Feelings Behind the Works of Dennis Anderson and Julie Gorman, communication is 10% information and 90% emotion. Oftentimes, people repeat themselves because they don't feel like their emotions were heard the first time. It's easy for a listener to jump over feelings and give advice, share facts, or try to minimize the problem rather than really hear what's being said. Good communication requires you to build trust between yourself and the person whom you're communicating with. Operating on good trust and good communication is a crucial part of communication. The way we communicate is a primary way to build trust. Along with specific behaviors and actions, communication, you could say, serves as a vehicle for building trust in relationships. How we say it, what we say, and how we respond to others communicate make or break trust. This is why it's important to develop your interpersonal communication skills. This is about facial expressions you are portraying while communicating. Facial expressions can display personal emotions and indicate individuals' intentions within a social situation. They are extremely important to the social interaction of individuals. Behind scenes and faces, which faces are perceived, provide important contextual information for facial expression processing. However, individuals just rarely interact directly with contextless faces. Recently, there was a study done by Barrett, Aviser, Weiser, and Brosk, stating that there had been growing evidence regarding the influence of context on facial expression. Be sure to always trust your instincts when it comes to reading people's emotions and nonverbal cues. If your instincts tell you that something is strange about the way a person is communicating to you, push yourself to look into it. If you don't, you will find yourself questioning the person you're talking to, and you could develop feelings of mistrust for no reason. Expressing or using emotional intelligence can either immensely strengthen a relationship or exceptionally hinder it. Emotional awareness, or the ability to successfully communicate with others while understanding feelings, will immensely influence the communication with other people. You may have been in a situation where you have shared an intense emotion, such as learning the death of a close family member, and the only thing you could think to do was hug them. Although being on the receiving end of an emotional sharing will be challenging, your efforts will likely result in the positive gains in your interpersonal communication competence and increase relationship bonds with them.